today we're going to talk about swaps. I'm so excited. I have literally a pile in front of me. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to talking about this today because some friends of mine recently were going on a camping trip, and one of them was like, I need ideas for healthy swaps, like when you're camping out for a couple of days, like what do you eat, right? And hey Jenny. Hey Jennifer. Hi everybody. Okay, good. People are starting to roll in. It usually takes like 3 minutes or so for it to kind of notify people. So what I was saying is, if you guys have any questions while I'm talking, just drop it below. If you have any topics that you want covered next week, just let me know. But we're going to be talking about healthy swaps today. So if you have any questions while I'm talking or any other things that you want swaps for, drop them and I will be here to answer your questions. But the reason I decided to do this is because some girlfriends of mine were going camping recently, and one of them was like, I need some healthy ideas. And one of the other ones is like super planning, and she had like all these ideas and it was really, really great. But also because a lot of my clients travel for fun or for work or for family or whatever. And so a question that I get very, very frequently is, how do I be successful? How do I stay successful when I travel? And, you know, obviously when you're camping, when you're traveling, even if you're just on the go and you need easy options, it's totally possible. Patrick and I have done a podcast on traveling. I've done blog posts about it, so check out the podcast if you haven't already, the Tiny Fit Diva podcast. But today I'm going to give some specific swaps. Some you may be able to take when you're flying, some maybe not. Some when you're camping, it'll just kind of be lots of different ideas. So I thought I would start with the basics, right? Hot dogs. So everybody wants a hot dog when they're camping out, right? There's nothing wrong with hot dogs. I mean, yes, we can go into the grossness that is a conventional hot dog, but go ahead and choose a 100% grass-fed source and treat yourself. If you guys are used to having hot dogs on your camping trip, just make sure it's the highest quality hot dog that you can possibly find. So I like the Applegate brand. You're good to go. Easy to pack, easy to eat, heat it up over the fire if you want. Simple, right? So that's something you don't really need a swap for. You just need to upgrade your branding. Soda is a really big one. So this might be something that you're used to drinking. It might be something that you crave when you're stressed or when you're traveling a lot and maybe your blood sugar is starting to dip. So ultimately, we want to get away from crutches and stimulants, and we want our body to kind of function naturally and balance on its own, right? So ultimately, this is something that you would want to have only as a treat. But if you're going to indulge, switch a regular soda like Pepsi or Coke or Mountain Dew out for a Zevia. It's spelled Zevia, and it tastes amazing, but there's no chemicals and there's no refined sugar. It's sweetened with stevia, which is why it's named Zevia, and monk fruit. So those are natural sweeteners, and again, you kind of even want to avoid those non-nutritive, non-caloric sweeteners as much as possible. So it shouldn't be like a 5-time-a-day treat, but especially if you're really addicted to soda or you need it as a treat, or I'm going to give you a little fun splurge in a minute that you can use with them with alcohol. If you need that soda, Zevia is the way to do it, okay? That's like the cleanest version you can possibly get. You're still going to get the carbonation. I personally tried multiple flavors from that brand, and they're shockingly close to the original. So you should, and some of my clients have tried them as well, and they say, this is a good substitute. I can handle this. So it's a really, really good one. So, you know, if you're looking for a treat and you just need something to pack and you don't want, you know, the kids to be on sugar the whole time you're on your camping trip or whatever, grab some Zevia root beer. They have root beer. They have like a Mountain Dew version. They have like all the flavors basically that you would want. And some of them are caffeinated and some of them are not. So be sure if you're trying to get off caffeine or whatever that you choose accordingly. So that's a good tip. Oh yeah, I was going to give you my fun Zevia tip, my grown-up Zevia tip. If you get some Zevia, maybe like the strawberry Zevia or something, or the grapefruit Zevia, something like that, you can mix it with some liquor and make your own little cocktail sugar-free, which is even better. Okay, chips. So chips is a really popular one, right? We all we're kind of like on the junk food theme tonight. So when we're traveling and we're stressed and we're tired, typically we crave sweet and salty and junk, right? And if we're traveling, typically that's what's the easiest to grab as well. And it's easy to pack and it's easy to carry, and it's what they have at the little shops in the airport and all that kind of stuff. But there's always another option. Like literally I've never been anywhere that there's not like a healthier version of what I want to eat, or an option to not make that choice. So always know your non-negotiables. That's number one. But chips, there are actually, and I grabbed a bag but I left it over there. There are a lot of different options for chips. So I would recommend two top options. One, Terra chips, Terra, or Jackson's Honest potato chips. So Terra chips, you're gonna get like sweet potato chips and root vegetable chips and things like that. And with Jackson's Honest, you're gonna get potato chips and sweet potato chips, and they're just cleaner brands. And particularly with like Jackson's Honest, they're made with coconut oil, which is awesome. That's the best. You want to avoid sunflower oil and safflower oil and canola oil as much as possible, because those are highly, highly refined and processed. You can do avocado, coconut, and olive oil till you're blue in the face, because those are super natural, super healthy fats. Okay, guys, let me know while you're listening if you have any questions, or if you have any other things that you're like, oh, I just thought about this. Is there a swap? Just let me know. So the two people that replied, it was so funny when I was like, hey, let me know what swaps. Two people replied, and both of them said wine and one of them said popcorn. So wine apparently is a big deal to a lot of people. And it's so funny because before I got that reply, I probably would have said in this video that there is a swap for everything you can throw at me. I'm not sure there's 100% a swap for wine. I'm sorry, you guys. You're just going to have to limit it. So I'm not really a fan of much alcohol in general, particularly, you know, my clientele are people that have chronic health conditions and struggle with their gut health. And if that's you, you really shouldn't be on alcohol at all. And very, very particularly during your periods of protocol, when you're treating or reversing a condition or working on your gut health, you should be off of it. But if you're totally healthy and you just want to indulge, and wine is your only thing, and that's like what you love, then just limit it. So I would say maybe 2 glasses a week. So whether that's 2 in one night, or 1 in one night and 1 in another night. But you know, people are always like, well, you know, but it has all these good benefits and all this kind of stuff. But we're trying to convince ourselves of something we know that's not really true, right? Alcohol is not good for you, period. It doesn't matter what kind of alcohol. There are better choices than others that we can make, but alcohol is alcohol. So drinking it daily is not the best choice. But if you really love wine, there is a version that you can choose, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to Google it really quickly. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called bioengineering farming or something like that. Let's see, what's it called? But anyways, basically it's more organic than organic. I think biodynamic, that's what it is, biodynamic farming. So there's a couple brands out there that do biodynamic farming for wine. And biodynamic farming is like more organic than organic. It's like as natural as you can possibly get. The problem with wine is that if you go to the grocery store and pick up a bottle, there's like upwards of 70 chemicals that can be in that bottle without having to be on the label. Like legally they're allowed to do that. So you don't know what you're getting. Also, people tend to have allergic reactions or food sensitivities to salicylates. Salicylates are a big ingredient in wine. So that's something to think about as well. It's just something, you know, generally, if you're working on your health, avoid it. But again, you can do hard liquor and Zevia if you're looking for a sugar-free treat on occasion. That's a little bit of a better choice. So in terms of alcohol, I go beer is like not allowed at all unless it's a gluten-free beer, because it has all beer is like gluten and carb city. It's just like terrible for you. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. And then above that would maybe be wine and champagne, and then above that is hard liquor, which sounds crazy. I'm not telling you to go drink a bunch of hard liquor, but as long as you get like a gluten-free hard liquor, it's very clean, it's distilled, it's purified, and it's like sort of the least damage. And you can make something like with a Zevia or something to sweeten it up without actually having like a sugar bomb because you created a cocktail with a hard liquor. So that's what I have to say about alcohol. And I'm really sorry, you guys who want better wine, but just go get biodynamic wine. That is the answer for that one. Biodynamic wine. Google it. Okay, so popcorn. I thought that was kind of a funny question because there is, like, why would you want to substitute popcorn? There's nothing wrong with it. So the only thing, again, you're upgrading your game. Hey, whoever just joined, hello. I can't see it. It didn't pop up and show me who it is. So popcorn. The only thing really you want to look out for with popcorn is that you're getting non-genetically modified. As with many foods today and many grains, they are genetically modified, and that sucks because it changes the protein structure. It changes the actual food into something that our body cannot process, and it causes inflammation, which is why food sensitivities and leaky gut and chronic diseases are going rampant in today's society more than anything else. So, non-genetically modified foods is where it's at, which means real food. So you want to find a non-genetically modified brand of popcorn. So there was a brand from Kroger. It's in a blue box, and I don't have it in my house right now, but it's a blue box, but this is microwavable popcorn. And so there is an option, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it is a non-genetically modified popcorn, coconut oil, and salt. So that is fine. Like, go, enjoy that to your heart's content as long as you don't have a sensitivity to popcorn. The other one I recently found, and I haven't tried this yet, is from Thrive Market, and this is sprouted popcorn. So if you've heard anything in the health community about sprouted grains, soaking and sprouting grains and beans and legumes and things like that is a way of making them more digestible. So you can just buy them, like quinoa, for example. You can buy pre-sprouted quinoa, and you can cook it that way. And so I got some organic sprouted popcorn. So that's another way to do it too. So it's not necessarily that popcorn is bad and you don't need a swap for it. You just need to up your game a little bit in terms of what you're looking for and how you're choosing the brand that you use. So that's wine and popcorn. Chocolate I thought would be another big one too. So everybody likes a little bit of chocolate, right? There's nothing wrong with that. The big problems with chocolate is things like, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, garbage ingredients and chemicals that don't need to be in there. Like cocoa powder with a little bit of honey tastes amazing for any of you who haven't tried that yet. It doesn't need all this other stuff, right? So my challenge to you is go to the grocery store and go find like a Hershey bar or Reese's bar or whatever and flip it over and read the ingredients, and then walk over to the crunchier natural section or wherever it is in that store and find like a natural organic chocolate bar, flip it over and compare. I guarantee you the list of ingredients is going to go from here to like 3, and it's going to be something like cane sugar, cocoa, and I don't know what else is in it, vanilla or something like that, some flavoring. There might be like 3 to 5 ingredients, okay? So there's a bunch of different options at Kroger. There's a bunch of different brands that are really, really good, but you want to go for like a darker chocolate, and you want to make sure that you always read the label. So there's nothing wrong with having like a sweet treat, but also I like to make my own. So let me see if I can remember the recipe for you. If you want it, it's on YouTube. It is 1 cup of melted coconut oil, 1 cup of cocoa powder, and half a cup of honey. That's the recipe. That makes an amazing fudge. You put it in a glass jar and you put it in the freezer, and you periodically just pop off a little piece. And if you want to make it kind of extra fancy, you can put a little almond butter in a, what is the word? Guys, I can't remember words today. I wanted to say styrofoam, but that's not right. It's those little plastic like ice cube containers. What is it called? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, those little flexible ones. Anyways, you put a little bit of like peanut butter, almond butter in the bottom, and then you put that fudge on top, and you have like a little peanut butter bite. It's super amazing. You can have like one a day, or you can take them on your trip or whatever you want to do. But anyways, that's a nice little one. But for traveling, it might be easier to go get one of those organic chocolate bars. But again, just look at the ingredients. You don't want ingredients that you don't know what they are, because there's no reason for them to be in there. Chocolate is very easy to be natural and sweet and curb that craving without having a lot of extra ingredients. So just kind of one of my favorite brands is Enjoy Life. It doesn't even have vanilla in it, which I'm sensitive to, so I can still have an Enjoy Life chocolate bar, which is amazing. Quick caveat, or quick little side note, take your food sensitivity seriously if you know you have them. I was thinking, okay, vanilla, there's no way it can be this big deal. Like I've had vanilla my whole life, right? So I can have it in small amounts, or I don't have to pay attention to it so much. I eliminate it from my own cooking, but if I get exposed to it, no big deal. Hey, Kristen. So I also had it in my makeup. So I purchased this like toxin-free, amazing makeup line. I loved the makeup actually, and I still wear the other stuff like the blush and things like that. But the foundation had a lot of vanilla in it, and I noticed I started getting really dry skin. I started breaking out, and I was like, no way. It's got to be like my skincare or stress or something, right? I stopped wearing the foundation for like 2 days, and everything cleared up, and my skin was not dry anymore. So food sensitivities aren't just internal. It's how your body responds to that ingredient. So if you put something on your hands every day in lotion or in a skincare product or in your hair and you have a reaction to it, it can cause a lot of inflammation. Anyways, that's not the topic today. That's another topic. All right, I have a couple more here. So another suggestion for traveling is to pack, obviously, things that you can carry easily. So I love Shakeology. I love Shakeology on the go. If you guys haven't heard me talk about it before, I do drink a protein shake every single day, but the reason I like it is because it's not just protein, it's also probiotics, digestive enzymes, and a crap ton of superfoods that you're not going to get at your local Kroger. And even if you could, there's no way you'd be able to afford all of them before they spoil and to put them in your salad and all this kind of stuff. So this is my way of getting a ton of greens from around the world, a lot of adaptogens, a lot of superfoods. And to be really honest, I stopped drinking it for like 2 months, and as soon as I brought it back in, I felt better. So there's something about it that makes me feel really good. Random, but it's awesome. So if you guys are interested in trying that, just let me know. Vegan chocolate's my favorite. You can go to Shakeology.com/KylieandT and check it out. All right. This was literally the perfect day to do this, and I didn't really plan this, but it worked out. Keegan is traveling this weekend, so I stopped by the store to get him a bunch of snacks because we want to make sure that he's prepared while he travels. So I'm just going to give you a couple snack bar options and brands because snack bars are super easy to take camping, to take in your purse, to take in the car. The one thing that's hard while traveling anywhere is getting fresh vegetables. And so that is just something you're going to have to sort of deal with. But you can still get some of them and some of your greens from these bars. So I'm going to show you how to do that. This is called Raw Revolution. Raw Revolution has a bunch of different variety. You can get nut bars and all this kind of stuff. This one is Spirulina Dream, so you're getting some spirulina in there, which is really, really great for you. And basically it has cashews, sunflower seeds, dates. It does have agave, which I'm not thrilled about, but again, it doesn't have to be necessarily perfect when you're traveling. It just needs to be not crossing your boundaries and still sort of on track with your goals. So in my mind, I never cross my non-negotiables and I make the best choices I can. And then when I get home, maybe I dial down a little bit more, but there's no reason to break the big non-negotiables when you're traveling. So this is a really great one right there. These I really love. This is called Mediterranean, and it's savory bar with kale and pumpkin seeds. Now I remember the first time I shared this with somebody, they were like, ew, it's like a savory snack bar, because we're so used to thinking like sweet snack bars, right? Like Lara bars and things like that. So I totally get it, but I have to tell you, this is incredibly delicious. And you just have to kind of suck it up and try it for the first time because it actually is really, really amazing. It's crunchy and it tastes really good. But here are the ingredients. You have things like pea crisps and cashews and kale and things like that, and your rosemary. So it's actually very, very good. And this is not as great maybe as getting your fresh vegetables in at home, but to travel, it's a way to get your vegetables in. So this is a great choice. All right, couple other ones, the Go Macro bars. You've probably seen those. Again, not perfect, but great for traveling. I love Thunderbird bars. They're kind of similar to Lara bars in that they are a little bit sweeter and there's a bunch of different flavors. But this one, for example, has apricots, almonds, almond butter, quinoa, vanilla, and Himalayan sea salt. So basic. I hope you guys are sort of getting the point here. Keep it simple. Read the ingredient labels. There's a swap for everything. This is something I tried today, not this flavor. I tried another flavor, but it's a Rise bar and it's very simple. They only have a couple ingredients. This one is coconut nectar, lemon extract, pea protein, and cashews. I mean, awesome. And then of course you can take meat. So meat sticks like Mighty Bar or Epic bars, those are really great too. So instead of taking things like jerky that tends to have a lot of sugar in it, it's actually very difficult to find jerky that doesn't have sugar in it. You can get these brands that are little meat sticks and they don't have sugar in them. I don't think. I should check the ingredients before I tell you that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one doesn't have. Oh, it does have a little bit of cane sugar, but that's all right. It's really low. So sometimes it's hard to get away from that stuff, but those are the things you want to look at. Also, RX bars. So I got these for Keegan. They're the kids ones, which just means they're a little bit smaller than the adult ones. And this is an apple cinnamon raisin one. Bringing, that was the popcorn. Bringing in nuts and things like that, nuts and seeds on your trip. Have at it. And this is organic whole raw cashews from Thrive Market. But what I like about this is they are dry roasted, or actually no, these ones aren't roasted at all, but they have a dry roasted brand. And what's nice about that, hi Grace, what's nice about dry roasted is that they're not roasted in those oils that we talked about earlier in the video that are high in omega-6 and oxidizing. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, and this has nothing to do with travel, it's just an awesome swap that I found recently and I'm really excited about. Hi Sandra. And that is cassava flour. You guys, if you have not tried it yet, I literally just got this like in the past couple weeks. And if you haven't tried it yet, you have to, because it's literally, it is like wheat flour. And my head is just exploding with happiness right now. When I had a muffin or a little biscuit tonight with our turkey chili, no, it was beef chili. It was a turkey chili recipe, but we used beef. That's why I'm thinking that. But I made cassava biscuits, and I am kidding you not. I chomped into that, and I was like, oh my gosh, it tastes like wheat flour. And I haven't had wheat in like 6 years, you guys, 5 or 6 years. And oh, it was amazing. What's great about cassava flour, because a lot of paleo recipes and gluten-free recipes call for like almond flour and coconut flour. What's great about cassava is that it is so fine. It's such a fine flour that it mimics gluten and wheat flour very well. I was shocked that there was even a little bit of like chew, like a little bit of what do you call it, like stretch to the biscuits, because you miss that when you switch away from gluten flours. So anyway, guys, I hope that you will try this, because it's Otto's brand, by the way. I don't know if anybody cares, cassava flour. So I hope you'll try it, because I made pancakes from that the other day, and again, tasted like regular pancakes. I was like, mind blown. I've tried many different recipes, and they've all been good. There's nothing wrong with them. But like, if you want something that kind of tastes like the original, cassava flour is the way to go. All right, guys, that's it for my Monday video. I hope that you've gotten lots of tips. Please let me know what information you guys need, what you're interested in, what you want to hear from me, because I'm going to go live every Monday, and I want it to be something that's useful for you. Have a great week, guys.